evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are watching us from. I am Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business enterprise and personal growth. Each show is organized to feature special guests who are usually subject matter experts on the topic that helps us to throw more insights on the topic of the day. I'm glad you are able to join us today. You are most welcome. Today topic captures the very spirit required to thrive in an ever-changing world. And the topic is ready, resourceful, resilient. I'll take it again, ready, resourceful, and resilient. These three words are more than a motivational slogan, they are strategic posture, mindset, and a call to action. We are nearing that time of the year that we have to start looking at what works previously, what we need to do better for the new year. To be ready is to live with intention, to prepare before the moment demands it. For instance, we need to prepare before the new year, what we expect to see in the new year. It also means anticipating possibilities, more or less saying to be proactive, to think ahead, and sharpening our skills, strengthening our values, and positioning ourselves to seize opportunities when they arise. So, readiness is not accidental, it is cultivated. On the other hand, to be resourceful is to recognize that what we have is not enough to begin. It means exercising creativity, adaptability, and initiative to do more. Resourcefulness thrives not in abundance but in constraints. It invites us to innovate, maximize our strengths, and turn obstacles into stepping stones. And the third prong, which is resilient, mean to rise again and again, no matter the setbacks. It is the courage to stay standing even when circumstances shakes us, the ability to recover stronger, and the conviction that challenges do not define us. Instead, they refine us. Today, we will explore this topic. Let us reflect on how we individually and collectively embody these three qualities. As our world is demanding new levels of agility and courage, institutions, communities, and leaders must not only react to change but shape it. The future We belong to those who are prepared, empowered, and unafraid to evolve. So I invite you this afternoon to keep our minds open, engage deeply, and look at takeaway lessons that will strengthen your capacity to be ready for opportunities, to be resourceful in uncertainty, and to be resilient in adversity. Once again, I would like to say thank you for joining us. We promise the session will be very interesting. We already have our special guest for today in the house, waiting patiently for us to beckon on her. We will do this and go deeply into the subject matter shortly after this time out. So please remain connected. We will be right back. Thank you.
Being relevant in your field of occupation is proof that you are properly educated. When my parents and I were thinking about my university education, Owen University Iwo was our first choice. Owen University helps you to get the most of whatever course you're studying and also educates you on how to excel in a competitive labor market. From the day I arrived here, I knew when I would graduate, and my mind has been positively transformed since then, thanks to my able lecturers. My name is Salome. I am a medical student, a sanctuary keeper, and a violinist at Bowen University. To the medical world, remember my name.
Bowen University, for excellence and godliness.
You are welcome back. Today on Connect with Comfort Show, I have the pleasure to introduce our special guest for today's show, and she's no other than Emmanuella Chilokoa. Emmanuella, fondly known as Ella, is an innovative interior decoration consultant, creative entrepreneur, and a vibrant member of Family House Africa, where she contributes her passion for people, aesthetics, and value-driven living. With a natural eye for beauty and deep understanding of how spaces influence emotions, productivity, and connection, Ella has built a reputation for transforming ordinary environments into inspiring, functional, and unforgettable spaces. Driven by the belief that every space carries a story and every story deserves excellence, Ella designs with intentionality, blending creativity, purpose, and personality to create environments that uplift, empower, and reflect the unique identities of her clients. Her work spans residential, corporate, spiritual, and lifestyle spaces, offering thoughtful decor solutions that promote comfort, flow, and harmony. Beyond decor, Ella is deeply passionate about people. She sees design not just as an art, but as a tool for well-being, development, and transformation. Through her work and her engagement with Family House Africa, She is committed to adding value to everyone she encounters, sharing warmth, insight, and inspiration while helping others discover beauty in themselves and in their surroundings. A natural nurturer and a builder of people, Ella brings creativity, character, and compassion into every relationship and every project. She stands out not only for her skill, but for her art, making her a sought after partner for anyone looking to beautify their space and enrich their life. What an awesome profile, Ella. Let's
Good evening, ma'am.
making welcome our special guest for today,
Good
Emmanuella
evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Chilokoa.
Good evening.
Welcome, most welcome. We thank you for
Thank you.
accepting to do this for us, to share your experience with our audience. We do not take it for granted.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me.
You're
Good evening,
welcome.
everyone. It's good to be here tonight. Yes, this
Nice to
evening.
have you. So straight away, we
Thank
go
you.
into letting our audience understand the subject matter. What
Okay.
does it truly mean to be ready in today's fast changing environment, mentally, emotionally, and strategically?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question, ma'am. What does it mean to be ready in this fast-paced environment? Okay. Readiness is being prepared. It's positioning yourself for whatever it is that you think or you need for your next achievement or goal. So mentally, as a person, how do you stay ready? You stay centered. How do you handle situations? The ability to think clearly in situations keeps you ready. It helps you stay centered. Emotionally is how do you handle situations? Do you react or you respond? Are you calm during situations, during challenging times? Because calmness will help you take decisive uh, decisions and not be irrational. And then strategically, what are your plans? Do you have a set plan? What are you working towards? So preparedness is not just a moment. It's something that you need to do continuously. It's you steadily staying centered. You have to be men, self-aware, mentally, emotionally. How do you handle situations? And then strategically, what are you working towards? So what are the things that you need to do to get to where you're going to in such a fast-paced environment? You also have to be adaptable, the ability to change, to be flexible to whatever situation that occurs, and how to change. If plan A doesn't work, what's the next thing to do? So in this environment and the economy that we have, in the world that we have today, you have to be able to adapt easily to whatever situation that comes your way. Stay ready, be positioned for whatever life hits at you.
Thank you very much. That has actually taken care of our third question, but I still need to ask the question: how,
Okay.
with given the explanation you have just told us, how would individual or organization be able to assess their current level of preparedness? How am I able to determine that truly I'm ready?
Okay. For an organization, remember that an organization is comprises of individuals, right? So as an organization, you have to have, I think, consistently having review sessions, checking where you are. What do we have a clear goal as an organization? What's our goal? Do we have the skills? Do we have the tools to achieve that goal? And then also having continuous review. Where are we now? How do we get to where we're going to? What have we done that has worked? And what can we do to experience the change that we need? So that would help an organization to stay ready, regardless of what comes their way.
For an individual, so how am I able to determine if I'm ready?
Okay, how are you able to determine if you're ready? What are the results that you're getting? What are the outcomes that from everything that, okay, you have to stay curious as a person. Curiosity is a good thing. It doesn't just bail the cat, it's a good thing because it keeps you the willingness to always learn, the willingness to improve at all times as an individual. If you don't know something, then you go get the skills or the training as an individual. So far with the knowledge that you have, what have you been able to achieve? What are you also willing to change? What, because sometimes we believe that we know it all. And so with the knowledge that we have, we think that that should be enough. But sometimes, especially it's like in this time when there's AI and everything. So if you've been doing things differently before, you have to go learn the technology that you need to work smarter and to be more efficient. So as an individual, what can I do to stay curious, to keep what are the things that I need to learn to improve this AI skills? How do I upskill to do better, to get better results? So as an individual, those are the stay curious, continuous learning, or be self-aware, tell yourself the truth. Where am I? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to do to experience the change that I need? That would help an individual to stay ready.
Okay, so self-awareness or diagnostic to know if you are at the level that you want to be, and if you are not, what
What
are
are the
those
things
things
that
that
I
are
need to do?
preventing you? What are the gaps?
Yeah.
Okay, that is very, very insightful. Now, with that in mind, can we say readiness differs from mere anticipation or wishful thinking? With that definition,
Yes. I can anticipate a thing and not take any action.
not
I
prepared,
can,
not prepared
yes,
towards.
yes. I can wish for a thing and not necessarily do anything about it. I can just keep saying, oh, I wish, but you don't do nothing. Readiness is an action. You are actively preparing yourself. You are actively positioning yourself. So
Intentionally making yourself.
intent, yes, you have to be taking steps to get to where you're going to. You're not anticipating or expectant and just doing nothing.
So
So
how does, okay, go on, sorry.
the difference is the action. So readiness is not just an emotion. You are actively taking steps to get to where you want to get to.
It's not accidental.
Not at all, ma'am. Not at all.
So what would you say the cost of not being ready, that is, especially in critical or high stake moments? What would you consider as the cost?
One of the biggest things would be that you lose opportunities. I would quickly state an example. Some years ago, I had the opportunity to be in rooms that that I needed, but at the time I wasn't ready. I It was so bad that I didn't even recognize the room to be the room that I needed at the time. But I was in the room. I had access to the room, but I couldn't recognize that this room is where I need to be because I wasn't ready and I wasn't prepared for it. So what happened? That room closed up
Yes,
and I didn't maximize the opportunity. So that is, and of course, I can tell the difference between where I am now and where I could have been if I had, maximized having that access to that door. So that's how it is. You lose opportunities. Sometimes you live in regret. Sometimes it takes you some steps back because you then have to start the process all over again. So as a person, it's good to be prepared at all times. If you know where you're going to, set clear goals and prepare yourself for when that opportunity comes.
Very true. And this tied nicely to my next question. How does readiness influence confidence, leadership presence, and decision making? One of what you have just explained, you were not able to make the right decision.
Yeah. Um, Readiness is just so, when I got this topic, it was funny, and it's a very interesting a topic. So when you're ready, there's a confidence that comes. You speak with clarity, you have precision, you take decisive steps, you act decisively when you're ready. And people can trust you as a leader, people can trust you because when you talk, they know that you know what you're saying. So people can trust you. They can trust you, they can trust to follow you because leadership is not just doling out instructions, it's actually earning the trust of the people that follow you. So as a leader, being ready, it shows in the things that you do and the decisions that you're making.
Very true. With all that we have said about readiness,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
we, or let me ask you pointedly, can you say we have or we are training the next generation to be ready for the realities of tomorrow? Because what we are talking about now may be a child's play in what is likely to come. So if
Wow.
your answer is no, then what is missing?
Okay. Wow. That's a very interesting question, ma'am. Especially considering the times. Okay, I think that we haven't done a good job so far with this generation. So I wouldn't say we've prepared them. I think that what has happened so far is in our attempt to shield this generation from something, we have created a set of people who are book smart, but not necessarily streetwise. They are book smart, but shallow minded. They are book smart, but do not understand the challenges of life or how to navigate it. So they are they're not emotionally intelligent. They can't handle life's challenges. And the Bible says if you faint in the days of adversity, your strength is small. So somehow we've been able to build people who are so talented. You're thinking, oh, they are good, they are creative, but their strength is small. So I feel that so far that's what we have been able to build.
Very, very concerning, I would say, because I'm sure if we are complaining of the rapidness of changes we are witnessing today, it's going to be worse.
It
It's going
is.
to be
It's
worse.
scary. It's scary.
Yes. We have a contribution from one of our online audience from Dr. Ebe Aseyin from Abuja, and it goes thus: when opportunity meets readiness, you break through into success. And
True.
this summarizes what we're saying, that
Yeah.
if you are not ready, you miss opportunity. But
Yeah.
readiness will enable you to harness whatever opportunities that are available. And then definitely once you meet that, success will attend your path. Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Dr. Saying, for that beautiful contribution. Thank you. So we've talked so much about, or we've examined much about readiness. Let us look at the second pillar of this topic, and that is resourcefulness. So, how does resourcefulness differ from having resources? Because you can easily say resourcefulness, abundance of resources.
Okay. I would like to see it as resources is the material things, Resourcefulness is a mindset. Resourcefulness is seeing options. See, even so, you have a challenging situation, and it seems like you're stuck, but somehow you're able to stay calm and think of other solutions. If plan A hasn't worked, what's plan B? And even if plan B doesn't work, can we get another option? So resourcefulness is being the ability to see that there are solutions even when no one is seeing it. Resourcefulness is having options. For instance, you want to start a business and you don't have funds. You're thinking that you need a shop, you need to rent a physical store, but you don't have the funds. Instead of staying stuck and thinking that I need to have a store, a physical store, why don't you think of ways that you can start, making sales and then save up to get the store in future? So resourcefulness is not it's not waiting for you to have the material things. It's the thought and the mindset that there are solutions that you can get to do what you want, regardless of the limitation of not having the tools that you need.
So it's a mental mindset thing,
Yes, ma'am.
uh, being innovative as well. That
As
is it.
well. Yes.
So, what behaviors or mindset distinguishes a resourceful person from an unresourceful one? If we tie it to your answer in the first instance.
Okay. I would say the willingness to try. You must always be willing to try try other means. And you must stay curious. Again, you must stay curious. Curiosity helps you to find out. They say, if you know, it's those who know the way. Curiosity helps you to know that there are other ways to a thing. There are other roads that lead to a place. Because if you're curious, if you're failed in one thing, then curiosity will help you to ask questions that you need. So as a person, stay curious, consistently learn new things. Like you're not too old or too young to learn a new thing. If you don't know how to do a thing, ask for help. Then, when you learn, always be willing to encourage yourself because, yes, there will be times when you're down, but you must be able to encourage yourself. I like the part of the Bible where it says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. So sometimes you will not get people to motivate you, but you have to, you know, pat yourself on the back and keep trying, keep trying, and then market yourself. Be so even when you're unsure of the results, speak about what you do. Let people know that this is what you do. Let people see you. Do the little that you can with where you are.
And then maybe adding creativity
Yes, yes.
to what you do. So definitely that goes a long way. Can resourcefulness, as described, be taught, or is it primarily an innate trait?
I think it can be thought. That's why it's a mindset. You have the mind to learn. Are you willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn? Because there are things that you think that you know, but technology and the world that we live in now has shown us that there are so many ways to do a thing. You want to type out or do a job in 5 hours, but there are so many things that would help you. You can do it within few minutes with different technological hubs. So, um, sorry, please, can you read the question again, Ma?
Yeah, I was saying that we've talked, rightly you have said, mindset is very important
Okay.
in sparking resourcefulness and making a success of it. And I now said, can resourcefulness be taught,
Okay.
or is it primarily an innate thing that a trait that is like inborn? Can it be
Yeah.
taught?
I
And you're on
think,
the right path with
yeah,
what you said, because if you are talking of mindset, of course you
yeah,
can teach mindset
yeah,
to have people to change, to have a change of mindset, to think
mhm,
differently, think out of the box, and all those things. So
yeah.
those are things that can actually be taught.
Yes, it can be taught. Mindset shift can be taught.
Yeah.
Can be taught.
So what example will you give to demonstrate resourcefulness, where resourcefulness has helped organization or individual turn adversity into opportunity?
Okay, I would say a very constant example of that is COVID. The COVID year, the entire world was in a lockdown, and companies couldn't go. We couldn't go to work. Couldn't do. Everybody. Nobody even wanted anybody near to come to their space. But people had to survive. And so what happened? Someone somewhere thought about remote work. We started working from home. And look at what we have today. That year, as crazy and scary as the COVID year was, it's bettered a solution for the entire world. And we're
Became a
benefiting
catalyst.
from it today. Yes. So, I mean, there's always, there's something I read that pain is an indicator of where you're going to. So even though the COVID year was challenging, it bettered something beautiful. And that's why we are here today. So we do sales online. We have drop shippers. We have people who have never had a physical store and they are earning millions. They sell, in millions. So that's a beautiful example of resourcefulness.
That, that's a good one. Example of the COVID era. And I
Yeah.
think as bad as we used to condemn that event, it has actually battered so many positive things.
Yes.
People seems to double their productive hours
Yes.
because even including Saturday and Sunday, people are working. Unlike before, you look at,
Yes.
oh, okay, I have one physical meeting here, but definitely I cannot combine any other one with it in
Mm,
Highland, but not these days. So every situation has its pros and cons.
yeah.
So thank you for that response. So what does now we looked at both readiness and resourcefulness. Let's look at resilience. So what does resilience look like in practical everyday life? Not in theory, but in action. What does it look like?
Resilience would mean, okay, for instance, if you live depending on the part that you live in Lagos State, you wake up in the morning, on a Monday morning, for instance, and you want to go to work, you look at your map, you put the address of your office on the map, and it tells you that
All right.
your office that is 20 minutes away, you have to spend 2.5 hours to get there. So, of course, normally you would you you wouldn't even want to put yourself through that. But resilience says it's going to be tough, it's going to be uncomfortable and stressful, but you have to do it. You have to go anyway. So, resilience is staying strong and ensuring that you do the needful, regardless of what life throws at you. It's the ability to come out of situations that practically throws you down and still keep pushing. It's being able to see that there's light even when everything seems dark and bleak. That's resilience.
Thank you very much. So, how does setbacks, failures, or disruption shape and strengthen resilience?
Okay. I think that sorry, I want to quote the Bible again. I
Yeah,
like
no, go ahead.
James. I like the part of the Bible, James 1, that says, "Count it all joy when you face experience challenging times." It's if if you're going through a thing at that time and somebody sends you that portion of the Bible, you'll be angry because you're thinking, "How am I counting all joy?
Yes.
Why? How can I count this, as joy?" But it's so beautiful because I've come to realize that we cannot say we are resilient except we have actually gone through situations that have tested us. So
Yes.
you are not resilient until you have been tested. So it is those setbacks and the failures that actually
Push.
pushes you to stay resilient.
That's true.
Yes. So setbacks and failures are part of the growth. They are things that will also make you get ready. When you go through failures and setbacks, how you navigate that season of your life is what keeps you prepared for the next opportunity or the next phase of your life. So staying resilient cannot it's not something that we can negotiate on. You have to.
Okay, in that wise, can organization be resilient without having resilient people in it?
Hmm. I
Why or why not?
I don't think that, because an organization is comprised of individuals. So if you have a resilient boss or CEO, but he has a bunch of people who are not resilient, I don't see how that organization can thrive. So um, I would say no. You cannot have a resilient organization and have people that are not resilient. You would have to then build resilience in them by ensuring team building, encouraging them, um, encouraging also um, people sharing ideas. So when people come to work, some people are gifted, but you don't know until you encourage them to share. And when they share, you acknowledge their creativity, you acknowledge their work. It builds confidence in them. It helps them to want to do more. And so when you acknowledge that, oh, you're doing a good job, well done, it motivates them to do more. When they see that you see them, when they see that um, you trust them, so they're not just giving you ideas that you don't implement. When you implement the ideas that your subordinates bring to the table, it encourages them to do better. And then they're constantly being trained. So of course, yes, you can eventually build a resilient team that way.
But in line, we have a contribution yet again from Dr. Asen. In line of his contribution, let me take the contribution first and then ask this question that I was going to ask anyway. Resilience is enduring and maneuvering through tough times to accomplish set goal.
So,
With, with that statement,
yes, ma'am.
if we look at it through that statement, can we still say we cannot have a resilient organization that has people that are not resilient in it? Because I'm looking at it from the perspective that, excuse me, that's a tough time for that organization.
Yes.
Hoping the organization have a structure, a,
Mm-hmm.
a well structured organization, and maybe a leader that has imbibed the goals and vision of the organization with that resilient mind. So if you have a team that is not resilient, and we have been saying all this in getting ready, we have to have a mindset and this and that. Can you not change that team if they are not resilient? Because by the resilience definition for the
Yes.
organization, it means the organization will not have a no for an answer.
I would say
I'm
that
just thinking.
I think I would like to believe that, because if he has to keep pushing everybody away, then
No, it will come to a time that yes, you will get the right
the
mix.
right people,
But
yes,
yeah, you will get the right mix because on the individual part there's resilience. Then
yeah,
on organization part, which we will speak to the structure and the system of the organization. If that structure and the system is resilient enough to withstand any what would I say now,
any adversity.
bottlenecks and
Mm,
maybe bottlenecks in terms of unwilling employees or people that are not ready to shift and things like that. The organization will not now pack up because there's
no,
so much you can push people. Like you can take the horse to the brim, but you cannot force it to
not
drink the
possible.
water of the brim. You don't have the commitment and that
Mm,
mindset to be resourceful as an individual. There's so much, and you are not willing from all the definition we have given. There's so much you can do. Then you get the right mix.
yeah,
So
yes.
that's organizational part of it must show resilience to say, no, you are not going to upturn my vision. Do you understand from the
Yes, sir.
organization perspective? So Dr. Asayi's contribution just really speaks to what was going on in my mind when it's good. That's one aspect of it, and that's the humane aspect to say, okay, let me see how to build the team. Of course, you may be lucky wanting to build the team, and then you have a willing team that you can build. But you can still have some people, as much as you are striving to build them, they are still
Who are not committed
pulling back
to.
and resistant to change. So such people should just be excused to get the right person. That's my thought. That's my thought about that. So just like individual can be resourceful and resilient, organization also
That's
should be. Yeah. So how do we balance resilience with vulnerability, rest and recovery?
in everything, we have to strive for a balance so that we don't burn out.
Mhm.
So as much as you are, resilience is not just for you to keep pushing and not recognize, not being self-aware.
Yeah.
Yes. Self-awareness helps you to stay true to yourself. So even though you are resourceful and you're resilient, being true to yourself helps you to recognize when you need to rest, when you need to ask for help,
Yes.
and when you need to delegate. Those things are very important. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to rest, and it's okay to actually hand trust the next person to do a good job so you don't burn out.
That's very, very important. Very important. Because if we you don't want that other side because if you burn out everything stops.
No, we don't.
so, so you really need to balance that. What would be the warning signs that will indicate to someone that or organization that resilience is being overstretched?
Hmm, thank you for that question. I think the first would be results. What kind of results are you churning out at this time? If were you more productive before, so why are you not as productive now? What's the level of your performance as a person? And then I think that when a person is pushing past their capabilities as a person, then they are prone to conflict. So situations where they would calmly, you know, and handle emotionally, intelligently, I mean, those situations result into conflict. I think when you begin to see that everything, you get irritated at the slightest opportunity, you lack patience, you can't tolerate things that you'd ordinarily, tolerate. I think those are things that you need to look out for. What kind of results are you churning out? Have you suddenly become impatient? Are you mostly irritated? And are you handling your situations intelligently? Or how are you handling situations? Those are things to look out for. Or when you even lack interest, lack of interest in the things that you do, a lack of interest also. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me now? It's like the
Yes, I
network.
can hear you. Yes.
The network. I got your response, and they are good ones. When you started, I added that when you said maybe you have become impatient. I said when you become short fused, it's like
Yes.
every little thing
Yes.
is spark, not because of that situation, but because of
The
already.
burnout.
Uh, so you start taking caution, and with our body we need to give it rest. Yes,
Mhm.
I know some people would desire to work 24 hours a day, but
Is
God has not
it?
designed it so. Because anytime you attempt to do that, believe me, you pay for it. Like
You
when
pay
I
for
go for
it?
night vigil, the next day is like I'm more or less like next to not you can't really do things, and you start
This
dragging,
thing.
you see your body
Mhm.
dragging, even though your
Your
eyes
body
are open,
tells you.
you are
Your
still
body
in a
practically tells you.
exactly. So we need to check that. So that is that's very good. The other one that I just want to round up on that resilience issue is, how can we be long-term resilient in a world of continuous uncertainty?
Mm. In a world of continuous uncertainty,
Yeah, that's the world we are
that's
in.
what we. Yes.
That's the world we are in, because everything happens.
Hmm. I think right now, I think what one thing, the first thing that can keep anyone going is, I'm not trying to be to be religious or anything, but I think the first thing is to have a a very healthy relationship with God. The Word, steadily studying the Word and meditating on it, it keeps you grounded. And then another thing will be to have family and friends, build a healthy relationship with your family and friends.
Consistent.
Build a healthy relationship with your family and friends. It helps a lot. Also build strong relationships with, have a mentor or, someone that you can um, refer to, a mentor coach from time to time. Another thing is to have accountability partners, people who can hold you and, help you to channel whatever emotion or whatever it is you're going through, and who can also check up on you. So where are you? How far have you gone with this? Where are you? People who you can go back to the drawing board again and say, oh, this, I think I can change this or that and all that and all that. And another thing is to daily journaling, having a mindset of gratitude. So I say that the day begins the moment you wake up. How do you wake up? When you wake up, what do you do? Are you thinking of all the problems of the world at the first, or you wake up with a heart filled with gratitude? Every
That you
day,
are
take an
alive.
attention. Yes, every day, write three things you're grateful for. And then journal your journal. Journaling is so healthy. When you write down the things of, just reacting to things, journal your thoughts, reflect and journal them. I think these things are going to help you. Daily journaling, meditating, studying the word, and gratitude. Gratitude is like it's like a door opener for blessings. Like you're blessing the day the moment you wake up and you're so filled with gratitude. It's like you're telling the day already, I'm so grateful for you because it's going to be a blessed day. It's a blessed day already. And then when you have that mindset and you go into the day,
Positive aura.
no matter what, yes, no matter what comes your way, you've already declared it blessed. You've declared that you're grateful for it anyway. And so you stay grateful regardless of what comes your way. You stay grateful. It
Fantastic.
just helps.
Fantastic. So we've actually covered all those three important dimensions. But I will just ask one question to see how we can fix the three of them together in 1 minute because time is running very fast. So, how do
Okay.
readiness, resourcefulness, and resilience reinforce one another in times of crisis or change?
Okay. Um, Readiness, resourcefulness, and resilience are all a mind. They're all a mindset. It's how you see the world, your perspective, how you choose to see things. So staying ready and being prepared is just positioning yourself for whatever it is that might happen or where you're going to. Steadily telling yourself to stay centered. And then resourcefulness is always have the willingness to try again. Always have the willingness to try again. And don't be tactic. Don't be rigid. Be flexible. If A has not worked, B or C or even Z can work. And then, even if those things do not work, choose to encourage yourself, choose to stay motivated, choose to be resilient in whatever it is that comes your way. So if you're ready, you're prepared, but nothing is still happening. You have the things that you don't have the means, you don't have the resources, but somehow you have managed to get yourself to be resourceful. Then you keep pushing. It's not easy, but you keep pushing. You stay ready. You gather whatever it is, skills, mentorship, coaching, volunteering, whatever it is, you gather. And then you keep pushing. It's not always going to be easy, but you have to encourage yourself, just like David did. Encourage yourself and keep going.
Thank you very much. I will just round up with this contribution yet again from Dr. Asen. It says, build scenarios and prepare for worst case situation. Then set out with a positive attitude and see opportunities in all circumstances. Resilience will emerge. What a beautiful way to cap the three. Thank you very much, Dr. Asayi. We are actually running out on time. So I have to really appreciate our special guest for today for doing a wonderful work. Emmanuella, you've done very well. Thank you very much
Thank you for
for
having
great
me, ma.
insights that you have helped to share on this topic. Very unique topic. I'm sure all that we've discussed today will help some of us to prepare towards the new year. By the grace of God, we are all going to see the new year and much more. So we help us
Amen.
to actually prepare towards it, and then we are to be encouraged. Life is full of up and down. It's not a bed of roses, even though we pray for the roses part of it, but we also have to be prepared to take the downside when it comes. So thank you very much once again, Emmanuella, and thank you for
Thanks
all
for
those that
having
have
me.
joined us. Dr. Aseyi streaming from Abuja, Banjo Bayode from Lagos, and a whole lot of others that have not been able to catch your name. I appreciate you all for joining. I will just quickly do a recap to okay. Ibuku Filani also joined us from Lagos. Thank you very much for following through. I hope we have all gained one or two things in this session. So I will just quickly do a wrap up because time is not on our side. So as we draw this session to a close, let us reflect on the power behind these three words: ready, resourceful, resilient. They are not just catchy themes, they are a roadmap for navigating the complexity of our world, our work, and our personal journeys. To be ready, we have been told, is to embrace preparation as a lifestyle, not an event. It is the discipline of staying alert, informed, and strategically positioned for opportunities and challenges alike. Those who are ready rarely get taken by surprise because readiness creates its own momentum. To be resourceful, on the other hand, is to expand our capacity beyond the limitations we see. It is the creativity to do more with what we have, to find solutions where others see obstacles, and to extract value even in learning seasons. Resourcefulness transforms scarcity into innovation, and to be resilient is to keep moving even when the terrain is tough. It is the strength to rise after every setback, the courage to continue after every disappointment, and the confidence that better days are ahead of us. Resilience is the anchor that keeps us steady when the winds of change blow fiercely. Together, these three attributes form the backbone of individuals, organizations, and communities that thrive regardless of circumstances. As you live here today, I encourage you to step into each new day ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to lead. Approach challenges with the resourcefulness of a problem solver and the resilience of someone who refuses to be defeated. The future does not belong to the strongest or to the most gifted. It belongs to those who are prepared, innovative, unshakable. So I hope we have learned one or two things. I want to appreciate our guests, our special guests, once again, and appreciate all of you, our online audience, including those that contributed. Dr. Saying, I appreciate you highly. Till I come your way again, let us go forward, ready, resourceful, and resilient. And may these words shape our actions and elevate our impact. Thank you all once again for joining. God bless you.